So yeah guys, what you see there is just the tip of the iceberg. It's mostly signs from go-go's around Walking Street. I mean, on Walking Street itself you have probably 200-300 bars, 400 maybe. There's 10-15 discos, there's close to 80-90 go-go bars, there's 100 or 200 beer bars, there's the Arab bars back in the Arab area. There's all these little side streets. And then Walking Street is just the start of it. That's the most prominent, most famous with all the tourists. But you have all these sois. In Thailand, the name of a street's called a soi, S-O-I. So in Pataya, you got soi 6, soi 7, soi 8, soi 13, soi 13-1, soi 13-2, soi 13-3, soi 13-4, soi 2, soi 3. You have soi buka, which is like a big long street that runs parallel to the beach, second road. And on Soi Bukaw, you have all these side streets. You have bars itself on Soi Bukaw, then you have like soy made in Thailand, soy, I don't even know the names of a lot of these soys. You got Soy LK Metro, there's more go-go's there. You got Soy Diana, Soy Lenki, Soy Chayapun. These are all just soys that run off of Soi Bukaw. And then you have, you know, second road's got a lot of, beach road's got a lot, or on Beach Road. And there's like big complexes, like there's the what's that, Action Street, not Action Street, there's another one. Anybody knows in the comment section up by the Dolphin Roundabout what the name of that is? There's like just 30 bars in that place, 40 bars. There's and then you go further, like you go up to Naklua. Chom Tien has at least 100, 200 bars, because you have a big bar complex there by the market that's 50 bars, and then you have, you know, there's side streets with lots of bars, and then you have and back in Pataya you have Third Road. You go past Third Road, there's some side streets with bars, and then you have a big Thai where the Thais like to party along Third Road, and you have a lot of discos. You have Deferred Disco, you have you know, Hollywood, which also has a lot of Asians, Japanese, and Koreans go there. And then you have all these karaoke places, and and then just the karaoke bars. There's a good 100 of those. Those are sometimes scattered around little side streets and stuff. Those are mostly for Thai people, and it just goes on and on. You go past in the rural outskirts of Pattaya. You know, there's still some random little side street. There's just a little bar just for the local residents or for the you know, local fairings, and even like there's these little hole-in-the-wall bars you wouldn't even think. They just get the same like old guys that drink there every day, 6 or 8, and that's their whole customer base. And the lady might have like a little, she just runs it out of her home, just on the, you know, on the fronting the pavement, like a little shop house. Not really a shop house, basically a hole in the wall. She sells drinks. She might make like 10-20 baht per drink, but you know, she's working out of her home, and it's just. And there's street stands, there's a VW, it's really endless. It's really, what amazing is, you know, this could exist. I mean, Pattaya is not that big of a place. You just got all these tourists and people that come here to drink and relax and party. But the total number of people here at any given time is not that great. And you got all these big cities in the world with just these very dull nightlife. It's just drinks are expensive and it's so regulated, and they get shaken down. It's not even talking just to America, but like even in Japan they have that problem, and there's so much demand. People just like to listen to music and talk to each other and mingle and drink, and the world's really missing out. Pattaya is one of the few places that really lets the nightlife go without restraint. Bangkok used to have this too, but they started cracking down 15 years ago. First, they demolished some of the popular streets. I think like Clinton Plaza was one, and some of the areas like not Nana, but Pat Pong, became kind of, I think, just became like a tourist trap. And what they did was they just removed stuff. They really like harassed some of the businesses, and they made the closing time at 1 a.m. for all bars, all discos. And that's really a killer for any kind of closing time. Is terrible because it's just people, when they really get drinking, they might come out at 11 and they might really get going and into it, and then they're going to want to have a lot of drinks, and that's where they're going to make your profits when they're already drinking and they got a good feeling going, and they're going to spend a lot more money in that state, and that's where the bars and discos and stuff make their profits. So you put a closing time, you cap that, you really make it hard for places to make a lot of profit, to make the business viable. And especially you have the land prices in Bangkok. The bar business is just not very viable there. A lot of it was around Sukhumvit area, and it's just a shell of what it used to be. And that's what happened was Pattaya basically took over the mantle from Bangkok, where the business wasn't, the bar business and the nightlife business used to thrive in Bangkok, but as Bangkok becomes such a world-class city, and real estate prices became so high, a lot of that shifted to Pattaya. And the people that used to hang out in Bangkok, they came to Pattaya, and people that would have new tourists that would have went to Bangkok instead just go straight. They take a taxi straight to Pattaya, and they only mess with Bangkok. And Pattaya's really capitalized on this. And there's nothing else really here in Pattaya. There's no office buildings. There's factories. The factories are in other cities about 20 miles away, 30 miles away. So there's nothing. There's plenty of work to do outside the bar business because there's hotels, there's restaurants, there's shops, but there's nothing like generating income for the city other than the whole city revolves around the nightlife and the tourism, which are closely linked together. And it always amazes me. I hear these plans that some people want to get rid of the nightlife or restrain it or just make it, and if you do that, there's really no reason people come to Pattaya. It's a giant spectacle, and all these tourists like from Russia and China. China's a good example. They don't really drink or go in the bars, but they're still up and down Walking Street. It's a big spectacle for them. So they just come here for a couple of days. They go to the island, the beach. They go to there's a few tourist sites around Pattaya. The bus takes them to all the sites, and then one of the major ones is Walking Street. And even the Russians come here a lot of times with their girlfriend or wife, and they come here in families. And they don't travel in tour groups necessarily, but they like to go to the beach too, and they like to party and drink with their friends and with their wives and stuff and girlfriends. So they're not here necessarily for the girls, but they love this environment and this free party atmosphere. So if you take that away, and the people who do come here for specifically for nightlife, which is probably more than half, if you take all that away, you lose all those people. All you might have left is some Chinese tour groups who probably never come back, and maybe a handful of Russians that enjoy the beach, and then you have some maybe long-term residents that live here, retirees. So this town thrives on the nightlife and tourism. These are cheap prices. Draft Chang, 39 baht. We get Seng Song for 39 baht.